Without having ever thrown this disc, I can tell you definitively that this disc is a big deal. Regardless of how it may or may not fly, this disc, the Tone technology from Clash, represents something that we are severely lacking in the disc golf world. This is a manifestation of innovation. By the way, that's a 380-foot shot that we just put 20 long in the basket. Now that innovation doesn't come in the form of the mold. This is the Clash Discs Salt, which is a mold they've had in their lineup for a little while. It's one of their distance drivers, 12-6, -1, 3. In fact, the innovation actually comes in the form of the plastic. See, this new Tone technology is actually two different plastics in one mold. You have this hard bottom plastic on the rim and this soft, grippier premium plastic here on the flight plate. It's sort of like Clash is rolling out their own version of MVP's gyro. Now, when I say that disc golf is lacking innovation, I don't mean that manufacturers aren't releasing new products. In fact, they're releasing new molds all the time. But what I simply mean is that 99% of all of these new molds are just simply copies or tiny variations on something that already exists. And the marketing teams of these companies know that if they release something new, whether it is truly innovative and new or not, it's more likely to sell than an old mold that's been sitting around for a little while. So this, of course, begs the most important question, which is the innovation actually worth it? Does it work? Does the Tone technology make a difference? And there are a couple different ways we can answer that question. The first just being in hand feel. And I have to say, the hard bottom rim with the soft premium flight plate does feel really nice in the hand. It gives you that gummier, grippier top without sacrificing some of the stability in your grip, without the disc feeling like it gets a little wonky on you. But what about the flight? Now I am finding the Tone Salt to be a little flippier than I anticipated. For a -1.3 disc, this thing seems to really want to flip and go right on my backhand. Now, full disclosure, I've never thrown the Salt in any other plastic, so I don't have a good baseline to compare how flippy or stable this mold generally is, but this Tone version seems to flip more than what I would have anticipated. So I brought out a couple of my current go-to distance drivers. I have a Royal Grace, and then I have a Halo Pharaoh. We're gonna throw all three of these just to compare, try and get some sort of baseline to how this Tone Salt is flying for us. So as you just saw, the Tone Salt did flip up the most and go right out of all three of these. It also went the furthest out of all three of those. So what does that mean for Tone technology? Does this sort of dual plastic, dual rim gyro technology really work and make a difference? Well, I think it's hard to say. On one hand, I want to say absolutely. If you can hit the angle right, this thing really does seem to push and glide a long ways in some interesting ways that traditionally molded discs maybe don't. But I'm also finding this to be very touchy, which makes me feel less confident in actually ripping it on a drive. Now, I know this technology is brand new from Clash and they're continuing to tweak and innovate to work out maybe some of the inconsistencies, but I have heard from some other people who have gotten a hold of this disc that some people's have been incredibly flippy and some have been a little more stable. Clash has addressed this and said some of their earliest runs where they were just getting the prototyping correctly did come out way flippier than intended. So that's worth keeping in mind. If you pick one of these up, I'm not 100% sure how stable your run of this disc will actually be. Now, with that being said, I am a huge fan of this innovation, what Clash is trying to do with this new tone technology. The disc feels great. I love the way it flies when I do hit it right. While I don't know that this will make my tournament bag, it will absolutely have a place in my for fun bag or my casual round bag because it's just such an interesting disc. It feels so good in the hand and it feels like the kind of innovation that disc golf has been missing and needs that we haven't seen in a long time. So there it is, the Clash Tone Salt. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on this new technology from Clash discs. Will you be picking up one of these to try out for yourself? Do you think this kind of innovation is what disc golf needs to push the sport to the next level? Do you think this gyroscopic technology really makes a difference in how far and how accurately you can throw a disc? I appreciate you guys hanging out as always. My name is Andrew Wood and the journey is the destination. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.